that and just make sure he doesn't lose confidence.
Cuja, how do you feel about how different playing styles work under pressure? You know, I ask because Peter Mrazek has a pretty good resume as an NHL goalie. He's about a 910 career save percentage guy, but he makes me nervous when I watch. Is there anything to that busier style being less effective when the chips are down, or does it matter? Just got to stop the puck when it's time to stop it?
I guess it's if you relate it to golf, you want that swing that you can use under pressure, correct?
Right.
And I think a lot of it has to do between the ears, probably in all sports, but definitely as a goaltender. So it's, Jack has the talent. He's been able to put up that number. So he's quick. He knows where the puck is at all times. I don't know about I'm a fan of his style, how athletic he is, and he gets across, and he's always square, and so I'd have to say it's more between the ears, and with a lot of us, that's how it is. So you have to have some mental go-tos and some support, I think mentally to keep you positive. I know when I played in Toronto, again, Glenn Healy was such a great partner for me. It was never my fault, never his fault, but never my fault either. So it always kept me in a positive frame of mind.
I want to ask you, I want to go back to Saturday night and that crazy game. And first of all, anything off the top of your head that can even compare it to or feeling like you've been in that position? And I want to also go back, Cujo, to that goal that Jack let off, the horrific icing / horrible angle. And it's one thing to know that you're kind of struggling to find your game, and then it's another one to let that goal in. And what it does to you mentally, and how do you handle that? I mean, golfer's analogy is short memory, right? But
right.
Is that easier said than done?
So, yeah, and you know what? Really, I'd break it down into wasn't it 7-2 going into the third?
It was, yes.
So if I was to talk to Jack and say, hey, listen, you had a bad third period, and when you play the puck, I know you got a huge lead. Maybe you had a lacking concentration, which is obvious. You're up 7-2. You just, like in the playoffs, I always said to myself, don't do too much with the puck. And it wasn't a great handle of the puck, but I love to do it. So anytime you go to your right side, your blocker side, and you're going to play it around behind the net, and you're going to make a straight pass. There's one thing to put it on the glass, but it's a long way for you to get back. If you're playing it same side, it's so much easier to get back in the net. But when you're playing it long side and you're trying to make a direct pass, that's extremely dangerous. So in the playoffs, you eliminate any of those. So it's better to do it in a 7-2 game, I'm just going to say, than in the playoffs. Yeah. So you can learn from that.
Yeah, if you're someone who likes getting out there and having fun, that's a pretty good spot to do it. How much of playing the puck as a goalie is dependent on what you're hearing from your D-man, what they're telling you to do? How much of it is you making your own decisions versus just listening to their orders?
So what you do is you tell them, hey, if I have full control of the puck, don't skate right at me.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else. If I give it away, it's my fault. But when I have full control of the puck, just go to the corners. That's what the goalie wants. You get two defensemen going to either corner, you have two options. If you give it away, it's your fault. So you make sure that's clear with the guys, and they're talking. You don't want them coming right at you. That is trouble. If that happens, you put it up on the glass and let them fight it out at the blue line. Mm-hmm. But definitely they should know that beforehand. You sit down with the D and the goalies and go, okay, don't go right at him if he has full control. Just go to the corners. Give him an out. So hopefully they've got that figured out, but that's definitely what you want to see.
We're talking to Curtis Jost, a former Leaf goalie and 7th on the NHL all-time wins list for goalies. Jack Campbell made a comment that we just heard about just snap out of it. Just really, that's all I got to do. I mean, when I ask you, when you're in a place like Jack's, how much of it is physical, i.e. practicing, getting reps in, and how much is it just snapping out of it?
Well, it's easier said than done. It takes you 100. They say that it takes you like 100 shots to get your confidence, and then only one bad goal to ruin the whole thing. It's Great. Like a diet, right?
Oh wow!
One cheat day to lose all the 2 weeks you've been dieting and training and everything else. One bad weekend and you're way back. That's kind of how it is with a bad goal or a bad period. And I would tell Jack, listen, it's one period, and of course you lose focus. You're up 7-2, so I'd let that go and go have some fun. Even in practice, I'd have maybe a 3-on-3 game, like half ice or something. Just remember how to play. Remember, just play. The game's supposed to be fun. Go out there and play. Might even give him something to think about as far as something technical, and then he's not thinking about the outcome of a game. He's thinking about, oh, okay, this is going to think about something a little about my swing or something like that. And then you don't think about, what if I played bad tonight?
Right. And how much of an additional burden is playing in a market like Toronto where there's eyeballs and media and questions and you can't just stink for a couple of games and then figure it out?
Need a new contract.
Right.
No, contract, Kyper. You said it.
Yeah.
That weighs. You know, especially in Toronto. And it's not just you. I was lucky I didn't really have any extended family because they're the ones that call you at 11 at night and go, hey, do you believe what the guys on the fan said about you? You don't want to hear that, right? So anyway, it's hard in Toronto's market, like you guys said, and also the contract situation. You see your numbers, your great numbers evaporate, and you're like, oh, but you can't think like that. You got to remember how you got to that point, and it was having fun playing goal, playing with the house's money, which he is, and just finish strong. You got a great team. You got a great chance to win. You know, I'd play a little 3-on-3 in practice and just lighten it up a little bit, and you'll get back there. I did notice the D didn't help him either. They back in a lot, and Detroit's D backed in a lot too. That is no help. You're a screen and a deflection.
I want to go back to your mentality when you played, and I want to just put you in this scenario. You are the number one goalie that you've been the majority of your career. You have a stinker. There's 2 days off between games. You don't get the next start. And then your backup goalie gets the additional next start. And you may have to sit for a week, maybe even 10 days. What are you thinking?
Right. Hopefully somebody's talking to you.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody comes to you and goes, hey, Jack, you've been our MVP. Take a little break. Enjoy yourself. We're going to, you know, we got a good schedule coming up. Just get back, get your feel back, and we're just going to, it's no big deal. You got us there. We're going to rely heavily on you coming up in the playoffs. So be ready to go and just get your head on straight and enjoy yourself.
And that's the key, just the communication. Without it, any goalie's done. Not Jack, but anyone mentally without the communication.
Oh, no question, because you know you let your teammates down. And sometimes they don't – a guy's not talking to you, but he's thinking about his game, you know? And you're like, oh, man, is he pissed off at me or what's happening here, you know? You can get inside your own head. So the key is communication and just go out with the guys, go to dinner, enjoy it, make light of it a little bit, and just have that confidence. I know it's easy to say have that unshakable confidence, but all the great players I played with seem to have that unshakable confidence. And you can learn it. It's something you can acquire. So anyway, it might be good also to, I mean, you can't go through a whole season without hard times because you have nothing to refer to in playoffs because playoffs is hard. You're up one game, you're down 3-1. Now what? If you've never been in a tough situation throughout the year, you're not going to be able to handle it. So that's the silver lining.
Yeah. And how much